Brown how awful the play call was.
Everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say that.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning, you beautiful people. I appreciate you guys joining us on this Overreaction Monday, 10/20, coming from you live from Roswell, New Mexico. I am your host, Rene Ruiz, and along with me is the man with the buys, the one with the tries, the one with the broad chest, the one, the only John Borba.
Yo, what's going on?
Johnny, good morning. My morning is probably a lot better than your morning as it's going today. It is Overreaction Monday, so I encourage you guys to give us a call. Let us know how you're feeling. Did your team do great like mine, or did your team drop the ball like my co-host here? And not to throw shots this quick early, this early, JB. I know you're going to get to it in just a bit. But guys, you guys can call in 575-808-9307. Let your voice be heard and allow yourself to let those emotions out that you have bottled up. JB, what happened in Minnesota? Before we get to the Cowboy talk, because boy, do I have a lot to say. But before we get there, let's talk about what happened in Minnesota. Carson Wentz playing against Jalen Hurts and the Minnesota Vikings. A.J. Brown has himself what you could call a career day for the season. 4 receptions for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. Saquon only getting 18 touches for 44 yards. But guess what Saquon Barkley said after the game? It doesn't matter who's the one that's getting the attention. As long as they win, winning is winning. And he doesn't understand how people don't understand that it doesn't matter how it looks. This is real life, and winning is winning. JB, what happened with Minnesota? What's going on here?
Well, there's a kind of a lot of things, and I'll hit on the things that stood out in this game. Why A.J. Brown still might not be happy. His demeanor didn't look happy even after a win, but yeah, they got it done. Yes, he was involved a little bit more. It all kind of started with that first clip on the first drive. I don't know if you want to pull that up real quick, if we're allowed to. I don't know if we get taken down, but it's
let's try. Let's try. If we get taken down, JB, oh my
we'll try it. And this is why. And this is why. First of all, I just want to break this down. This is the first clip of the game. I mean, the first drive of the game. It's fourth and what? Fourth and one.
Fourth and four.
Fourth and 4 on the first drive of the game, right? And I think this is why the Eagles are still, why these wide receivers still aren't happy. Look at this play call. Let this play out. Look at this play call.
8 back in coverage this time for Minnesota. Hurts pointing, throwing.
It's so bad. The Eagles get bailed out because on that motion, Isaiah Rodgers was supposed to be on A.J. Brown, who Isaiah Rodgers just literally got burned all day. You might as well just throw him on the grill, on the black burner. But he literally just got grilled all day. You see at the top left of your screen, A.J. Brown is matched up with Josh Metellus, a safety/corner. Look at the routes. There's nothing open. This is an awful play call. What makes this play work, first of all, is no pass rush. And that's one of the knocks on Brian Flores' defense. If a pass rush can't get there, or if his blitzes can't be dialed up, you have success on it. And right there, 4th and 4, you have to get a pass rush. Our pass rush wasn't the best yesterday, but and what does Jalen Hurts love to do? He loves to just kind of sit there, analyze the field, maybe extend the play a little bit, and you pretty much find an open A.J. Brown at the top of the screen. He ran like a hitch route, not open. He's boxed up. Pretty much the pass rush just was not there. He's able to, direct A.J. Brown, hey, just run deep. I got you. Boom, that's a touchdown. So it was overall, that's just an awful play call. And maybe half the league might stop that, maybe not. But it was not a good play call on 4th down. Kind of a bailout, just better awareness by Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown right there. So we're already down 7-0 early, get a field goal. And then obviously Wentz, awful first half, right? Awful first half. And
terrible first half. But somehow you guys are still in the game, JB.
Still in the game.
I think whenever we started chatting it up in the group chat, you guys were still, I think you guys were only down by a possession there going into the second half. And even after a pick six that basically handed over points to the Philadelphia Eagles there. So what going into halftime, what's the mentality for a Vikings fan there?
Well, you're still. I mean, my mentality through the entire game is like, okay, literally this team has found ways to just shoot themselves in the foot on talent. The talent, everything on paper is good. Kevin O'Connell as the OC guy is good. Brian Flores as the DC, that's good. It's all on paper. It's there, right? It's
Yeah.
it's the QB situation. It's the QB situation. We get into another, area in the first half that I want to point out. We're driving down the field. Right now it's 14-3 after that Wentz pick through back-to-back picks, right? Get the ball. We're driving downfield. It's 14-3. We're at like the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1, right? We do three passes in a row. Second, third, and fourth down. We do three passes in a row on 2nd and 1. One of them was that fourth down call was a touchdown to Jalen Naylor, got called back for holding. But another thing I want to point out is Carson Wentz literally had a wide open fullback in that play, and then just decides that's his first read. He's looking at him in the flats, wide open, right? What does he do? I don't know if he just senses pressure, but he steps in the pocket and dirts the ball. Just dirts the ball and gets called for grounding.
Yeah.
Awful. Just awful. Just awful. It's so bad. And then on top of that, Addison, when he started getting involved early it was a deep pass, like 25-yard pass. It was out to the sideline, right? Well, if Wentz just has the accuracy on that, that's like a 60-yard touchdown for Jordan Addison. So that's a wide open touchdown that he missed. Flores' defense was good, was decent for the most part. The pass rush lacked in it, but the middle of the field was just wide open on a lot of plays. And you're single covering these receivers on critical moments in the game where there's just no help. And that's ultimately what it was. A.J. Brown took advantage of one-on-one coverage and key situations of the game, right? So that's how you lose. You shoot yourself in the foot so many times, you make stupid boneheaded plays, and you let A.J. Brown do what he does against single coverage and make these plays happen, and that's how you lose. And then before I finish this whole rant, or you can ask me a question after, my most important thing is the QB situation and how bad we have fumbled as an organization. These guys should be on the hot seat. These guys should end up being on the hot seat. To have Sam Darnold give you 14 wins the year before, and we just throw him a contract, here, take it or leave it, walk away. And then to also, on top of that, have Danny Dimes in your it's like obviously somebody, KOC thought this guy was something, right? That's why we signed him. And just to throw him a deal, it was probably like a 1-year, $10 million deal, like how Sam Darnold got last year. And he's like, no, he walks away. So to have this blunder and then bring in Carson Wentz like the last week of the preseason, and then expect this guy to just come out and just, I don't know, not be Carson Wentz. Like, you're putting way too much of a load on a guy that's been on this team now for 6 weeks. Like over 42 passes, I think twice he's done that since he's been the starter. And Carson Wentz throwing 42 passes or more is like 4-22 his record. You can't put a load on a guy that just can't handle the load. Like,
where's the running game? Where's the running game in Minnesota?
It's just got to be, everything's got to be better. And they knew it too, because you had Philly, right? What's the dude name? The edge, Zadarius Smith. He just retired, right? They haven't really had a great pass rusher right there on the edge. Their edge guys, Nolan Smith, and I don't even know who's on the opposite side of him. They're undersized, right? And every time we ran it outside of the tackles, we had success. It just wasn't consistent. Like we go away from the run game. I think we had 9 attempts in the first half, and then like 10 attempts in the second half, which I mean sounds decent, but like you got to establish more of a running game, especially when we're still in the game. But we had every chance to win that game and just don't win it. Like, and then this is my last point. Okay. Obviously the huge QB debacle, awful regime management. Like, this is a fireable offense, right? You have two quarterbacks that are in the MVP conversation this year, and they're both on your roster. You don't get none of them. Instead,
when you say fireable, who we firing?
Kwesi, the general manager, and then
GM.
KOC's right behind him. I don't know. You got to blame someone at this point. But to have two MVP candidates on your team the year before, we don't do nothing. Throw them a contract here, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Walk away. Maybe you'll find yourself something better. Both of these guys do that. Both of these guys are leading top-tier offenses in the NFL. Both are MVP candidates. And this is my last thing that I'm going to talk about. Stop babying JJ McCarthy in this thing. He literally was in the game as a third string emergency quarterback. He's literally warming up before the game. Like, stop babying this guy. Put him out on the field already. Like, we got to see what we got. All right. Like, just got to see what we have already. And we ride it out, take the ups and the downs. But if we see that this guy might be a franchise quarterback, okay, we see what Jackson Dart's doing, right? I mean, obviously, that game didn't end the way they wanted to, but you're seeing these young guys come in and they're rolling with it. Michael Penix, I mean, he played a decent game, just 49ers better, but all these young quarterbacks, they're coming in, their team's giving them a chance. They got talent around them. We got talent around them. We're getting a little bit healthier. Like, put in JJ McCarthy, see what we have, please. Stop babying this guy. Like, put him in against the Chargers on Thursday night. Short week, it doesn't matter. Put him in.
And I saw Adam Schefter reported yesterday that they're expected to kind of play out his whole injury. He was supposed to be out for 6 weeks. They're not expected for him to play on Thursday. I agree with you, JB. You see all the other rookies in the league being put in worse situations and being able to make the most of the positions that they're being put in. You look at JJ McCarthy. He's almost put in the best situation, or he's probably in the best situation out of all rookie quarterbacks. And we have yet to see him put together 4 quarters or even 3 quarters or 2 quarters at that. I think he's had one solid quarter where we thought, wow, this guy might be it. And then after that,
a couple good throws. And then that's all we've kind of seen. Other than that, he's been running for his life or getting sacked instantly, and that was at the beginning of the season. I think when it comes to like playing good teams with a solid defense, I think we're past that part in the schedule now. You know what I mean? Like if we have McCarthy in that game, that's a huge game to sit. Maybe we're not shooting ourselves in the foot half the time. You know what I mean? Against the Chargers, they're not playing good right now. The defense isn't flying around.
JB, where's the running game? Is Aaron Jones still gone? Still hurt?
He's still gone. Yeah. So he should be. He's coming off IR this week, so he will be able to play.
Like Mike McCarthy. JJ McCarthy, the one thing he did at Michigan very well was hand the ball off, and yet there's nobody to hand the ball to. So how do we resolve that situation? Like, how we can't move forward with our quarterbacks here if we have no one to hand the ball off to when we are a play action type team. Like, we live off the play action, but yet we have nobody to hand the ball to. What is going on in Minnesota? Because Philly didn't look great. I don't know that you look at that Philly game and go, wow. I know when you look at the stat sheet, you go, damn. It looked pretty awesome. A lot of that was broken plays. I'm looking at this now. It goes, Jalen Hurts had five passes over 20-plus yards for 215 yards, JB. And when you go look at those plays to Devontae Adams, it was broken plays, one-on-ones, kind of throw them up, allow your player to go get it, which you should. That's why you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Adams.
That's why you have these guys. That's why you have these guys. But the whole intermediate passing game of the Eagles is non-existent. It does not exist. If I'm an Eagles fan, I'm still not happy
they
because
don't have no flow.
How many? I want to know the stat where Saquon was already hit behind the line of scrimmage in every run. Like it was over a handful of times, over at least 5 or 6 times. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, and it was a negative play. This team still has a lot of holes. Honestly, the Vikings just shot themselves in the foot. That's what it was. We go 1-5 in the red zone, and then at the end of the game, to have that Devontae Smith where Harrison Smith kind of hit him, they picked up the flag. They thought it was intentional, whatever.
Yeah.
That play does not get reviewed. It doesn't. It holds up as a catch, and then to have the T.J. Hawkinson touchdown taken out, nullified. Both plays you couldn't see the ball. You could barely see the ball hit the ground and move for both plays. So if you're gonna make a rule, like if you're gonna call one thing a catch, don't call the other one a drop. Like you either call both of them a catch or you call both of them drops. It just was not good overall, and I'm still not. If you're an Eagles fan, you're still not satisfied with how the offense played. Yes, they took advantage of one-on-ones. Yes, they took advantage of Devontae Smith on that double move, skinny post route. Safety was it was a blown coverage. I think Isaiah Rodgers expected a safety over the top on that one. But you're not happy because you can't run the ball. There's no intermediate pass game. The offensive line is still a little shaky. Like you come off of it, okay, maybe we can build up. You know, if you're an Eagles fan, okay, let's build this momentum. But there's still a lot of holes, offensively and defensively, on that team.
Yeah, for sure. And if I'm an Eagles fan, sure, it wasn't the prettiest. I mean, it's crazy because if you look at the stats, you would think that Philly just completely put it on them, right? When you watch the game, it doesn't look great. But if you're Philly, like, you're still winning games. And you're winning the ugly ones. So you got to assume that this team is going to find their mesh and it's going to come together there on the back end of the season. It's still early. There's a lot of football to go. And I would definitely rather be on the winning end of ugly football. And that's exactly where Philadelphia fans are right now. There's so many question marks, but I think some of those were answered yesterday. Why do you not trade Jalen Brown or AJ Brown? I'm sorry. Yesterday is exactly why. Because when in doubt, you throw it up to A.J. Brown. When there's nothing there, you look to that boy A.J., you put it up in the air, and you allow him to go make a play. I think as far as proficiency, he is the number one-on-one wide receiver in the league. You look at the numbers, the guy is unstoppable when it's just one-on-one. And that's why you don't let him go. And I think Philly answered that question for me. It doesn't matter how loud the noise gets. It don't matter what the drama is. There's no way Philadelphia will let A.J. Brown get out of that building. Because when they do, they're going to feel the heat of it, JB. Jalen Hurts gets bailed out a lot of the times because of how dominant these guys are. And that's the dominant team that Howie has built. So you got to give Howie all the credit in the world for being aggressive and going and get these players. And Nick Sirianni, got to give him credit for being able to deal with all these personalities. I mean, winning is fun, obviously, right? But the Eagles are kind of showing us that I guess you can't just be satisfied with these little barely getting out W's. But Saquon reminded us that, hey, it don't matter who gets all the light and glamour. We're still getting W's, and that's exactly what Philadelphia is doing. For the Minnesota Vikings, it's like you said, JB. I think we're gonna find out a lot about you guys probably today when the announcement comes out of who is going to get the start on Thursday. According to Adam Schefter, it looks like Carson Wentz is probably going to be leaning to get that start on Thursday. I personally don't like it. Let's see what we got in JJ McCarthy, and we move on with that decision. You gotta allow this. I would rather J.J. McCarthy make the mistakes than see what Carson Wentz is doing. I know Carson Wentz comes out in the second half. He's pretty efficient, moving the ball down the field. They gave themselves a chance, and they kind of shot themselves there in the foot at the end. I mean, that's the Carson Wentz experience, JB. Unfortunately, you've been able to feel that the last 2 weeks, and hopefully you are done with that. It's like how we were saying about Joe Flacco with the Browns. Like, we know what Carson Wentz is going to give us, and we're tired of it. We don't want to just be a part of games. We don't just want to be in games. We want to win games. And Carson Wentz right now is not going to deliver us that. So let's hey, Minnesota, give us a chance. Let us know what we got. Let us know if that dog of J.J. McCarthy that we saw for one quarter be one of the greatest rookies of all time. For one quarter, he showed us. He showed us potential. People get fired on potential, but allow us to see it play out. Why not? Why not, JB? Anything else you would like to say before you leave us?
Like even if McCarthy is at 90%, you start him. Like, just start him. Like, right now, it's a big game of the season. This is a big game. If we drop to 3-4, I think we got Baltimore next or something, or Detroit next, and then Baltimore, one or the other. It's just it, and then it could just be downhill. Like, we got to win. Got to beat the Chargers to stay at least afloat. We've been winning, losing. But at this point, put in McCarthy. Just put the guy in and see what you have. Ride the ups and downs. Ride the wave. If we're not a playoff team, so be it. Let us see what we have in McCarthy. Let us evaluate the kid. Work on the footwork, because you start from the foundation up. They want to start from the foundation up. Okay, this is my last thing before I go. You want to start from the foundation up, right? Carson Wentz's issues are from the foundation up. Like, literally, I just don't understand it right now. Stop making excuses for a second-year quarterback. Just stop making excuses and put him in. You're talking about all this stuff. You want to make sure the guy's healthy. Oh, yeah, his mechanics kind of digressed. We're kind of reworking things. But then you throw out of all guys, you can't say that and have Carson Wentz as your starting quarterback, KOC. Yeah. You cannot say that stuff. I don't care if it's a process. Put him in at 90%. Let the dude play. Our offensive line was actually healthy today. It's the first time. We got our backup center in, but he I can't complain. The only time he really played bad is when he got blew up and then Carson Wentz just crapped his pants and threw it right in the middle of the field. I mean, just put the guy in, dude. Put the guy in, see what you have, write out the season with the ups and the downs. If we win 7 games, so be it. Like, I don't care. Put it in. Put him in. Don't put it pause. Pause. But just write it out at this point, boys. Golly, man. Why is this? I live in New Mexico and this is my team? Put something else on the field. Put a better product on the field, man. You can't have Carson Wentz out here doing this to us. It's crazy.
No. KOC, there's people that would do that for free. There's people that would do what Carson Wentz can do for free. And with that being said, JB, we will see you tomorrow morning at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time to see what your reaction is to a lot of these games that happen. But tonight, JB, you mind just giving us your picks for the Bucs Lions games? Who's going to win there?
Well, Packers won. I wish they didn't win yesterday. Yeah. They kind of squeaked by, got a little lucky. But it is what it is. So I really want the Bucs to win this game, and they can win it. I feel like the Bucs really can win this game. They're out a lot of weapons, though. It's going to be hard for Baker. Baker's going to have to carry the squad, but the belief is there. You know what I mean? The belief is there. So
yeah.
Detroit. It looks like Detroit should win this game, right? It really does. But hopefully Baker can pull something out. So I'm going for the Bucs. I'm just going for the Bucs. It might not be the best bet, but it's a biased bet. It's a biased pick.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. Well said. And then Houston heading over into Seattle, 2-3. Houston looking to go back-to-back wins here and go on a winning streak against the Seattle, sitting at 4-2. Oh, later, boys. All right, later, JB. We'll see you tomorrow morning, brother. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. John Borba. And with Borba leaving the scene, boys, let's go ahead and tune into a little victory Monday for your boy. I didn't want to rub it into Borba. I didn't want to rub it into his face because I know what it feels like to be on the losing end, especially sitting at 3-1. With that tie, we just kind of pretend, we just kind of ignore it. The tie, we just ignore it. So we're just sitting at 500 right now, right? But boys, let's listen into what the Cowboys locker room looked like after this massive W. Let's see.
Hey, you see all these things we got to read? Yeah. Hey, I'm going to go fast.
Let's read them.
All right, ready to roll? Hey, Javonte, 2-yard touchdown run. Yeah. Dak to CeeDee Lamb for a touchdown. Yeah. Dak to Fergie for a touchdown. Yeah. Dak to Fergie again for a touchdown. Yeah. Shamar James, forced fumble. Yeah. Jadeveon Clowney recovered fumble. Yeah. Mama, there goes that man again. Deron Blair with a pick.
Boy.
Keenan has sack. Yeah. Shamar James has sack. Yeah. Jadeveon Clowney. Got a sack. Hey, we knew it was coming for this guy. Easy out of sight. Brandon Aubrey, 47-yard field goal. Yeah. Brandon Aubrey, 29-yard field goal. Yeah. But this is some type of record, right? Yeah. It's some type of record, I think. The most 60-yard field goals, I think, in NFL history. Brandon Aubrey.
Come on.
Hey, last thing I got. Listen up. That was complimentary football defense. I'm so proud of you guys.
Yes, sir, defense. Come on, baby.
Proud of you guys.
Hey, bro. Way to play complimentary football. Way to play for the man next to you, bro. Love y'all boys. Let's keep going. Family on me, family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Hey, you see all these things we got to read?
Family on me, family on 3. 1, 2, 3, family. That's what it feels like in Dallas right now. And it's such a beautiful feeling, boys. It is such a beautiful feeling. I'll tell you what, getting that W yesterday, I wouldn't say I was nervous going into that game, but it definitely felt like a game that required so much attention, guys. That game, I think, would have changed. I think that game changes the trajectory of what it's going to look like the next couple of weeks. We do have the Denver Broncos in Denver this weekend on Sunday that I look forward to. I look forward to breaking down here come Wednesday and Thursday. But boys, that game like yesterday, the way we started off, coming in hot, Dak driving down with CeeDee Lamb coming back, and George Pickens, right? We finally get to kind of see what those two boys are going to look like, both at their peak. And boy, did they deliver. Both guys going for over 100 yards. You saw George Pickens yesterday getting a couple of mosses on people, drawing PIs. I think that's going to help us the most is how much flags these guys are going to draw, because a lot of these guys are starting to panic whenever they get deep, which I love it. It's a beautiful feeling to see how well this offense, or the potential of this offense. I mean, these guys are scoring more than 40 points a game here at home in Dallas. Now, can they do it on the road? That's the biggest question for us right now. Can we deliver on the road? And as a Dallas Cowboys fan, I feel pretty good about it, especially after this weekend. I know some folks might point at this game and be like, it was the Washington Commanders. But we got to remember, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were talking about how the Washington Commanders were going to be, making a run for this division. Jaden Daniels was up for MVP conversations before he got hurt. He did get hurt yesterday, but it wasn't until the third quarter. We were already up 2 possessions. I mean, boys, geez, what did we put up by half? 27 points at halftime? What a beautiful setup. I mean, but we've seen this. We've seen where the Cowboys play great with the lead. Now we're going to find out what they play like when times is tight. And if you look at that Denver's defense, in this, they're two different teams, really. In the first half, really the defense is carrying the Denver Broncos when you look at them, right? Yesterday, down 19 points in the first half, or in the first 3 quarters, and in the fourth quarter, they finally found some light. It seems like Sean Payton and Bo Nix finally click. For whatever reason, it takes them 3 quarters to finally see the light in each other. And it start coming back. Boom, 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 choke, slowly but surely. But the Giants somehow find a way to fold. This team folds right before our eyes. It blows my mind that these guys blew a 19-point lead all the way down to the final minutes. The Broncos take a lead, led by Bo Nix, and you see how well that defense is. I know they give up a lot of points there in the first half, right, being down 19, but you can only guard for so long. So I don't want to say that the Denver Broncos defense has a bunch of question marks. I don't think they do. I just think it's the fact that their offense really hasn't found their niche yet. They haven't established exactly who they are as a Denver Broncos offense. And it's kind of scary because it's like, hopefully it doesn't click this weekend. But as soon as that offense can get 4 quarters together, boy, is that Denver Broncos team going to be scary. And I think if you're a Denver Broncos fan, you're feeling optimistic about it because you see it. You see the potential in that offense. And you're just like, come on, give me 3 quarters. Give me 4 quarters. Or at best, give me 2. Most Denver Bronco fans at this point would probably be happy with 2 quarters, 3 quarters. But right now, man, I'll tell you what, I'm nervous, but we're going to find out exactly how good this defense or this offense is for the Dallas Cowboys, bros. We had a complimentary football yesterday. And who's the most happy is that Cowboys defense. We looked great. I think the one thing it did scream for us, though, and it feels like every week this is what's screaming out loud, is we need a pass rusher. We absolutely need a pass rusher. And Thursday's results from the Bengals-Steelers game, that saved Cincinnati another week from having to trade Trey Hendrickson. So that kind of pushes back the timeline for us if we were actually going to make a move for Trey Hendrickson. But I don't know what Max Crosby injury is going to look like or how much time he's going to be out. That's the guy's name that I've just been screaming for the Cowboys to go make a move for. Obviously, right? We would all love to have a Max Crosby in replacement of a Micah Parsons with Kenny Clark and what we got right now. Because we have a talented defense. We do. It might not look like it, but we have a decent personnel. It's just a matter of us molding into that scheme. And I know we're like, fire Matt Eberflus, fire Matt Eberflus. A lot of folks want to fire Matt Eberflus. It's not going to happen. So we need to start looking at how the defense is going to fit into Matt Eberflus' scheme. Like, we got to stop blaming the scheme at this point because it's not going anywhere. And when you look back and watch some of these plays where players are getting beat, it's the player missing the assignment. It's the player getting beat on a one-on-one. They're in position. They're just not making the plays. And we saw a lot of that yesterday. But Jayden Daniels had a lot of time. He had too much time. And it seems like really the only time that zone's going to work is whenever you can get pressure with your front four. And right now we don't have that with Dallas. We did see them pick up the blitzes yesterday, which was beautiful to see. Putting pressure. You know, one of my favorite calls from yesterday was, so it was in the first half. The Commanders it was 4th and 3. The Commanders were going to go for it before they got a penalty for a false start. But they were going to go for it on their own side of the field. And I don't know if we were going to run this, but we definitely looked like we were going to send pressure. We had 6 up, pushed up on the line. And I like that. That was an aggressive move from Matt Eberflus. I'm like, holy crap, Matt Eberflus grew some cojones. Give me some. And then what made me a little bit nervous after that, I was juiced up, hyped up. I'm like, holy, today, that's when I felt the energy shift. I'm like, all right, Matt Eberflus got his dog hat on today. He's playing to win the game today. He's not going to be soft. We're not going to sit back and everything and wait for the game to come to us. We're going to go get it. And that's what we saw from that defense yesterday. But we did. I mean, we're missing a pass rusher like no other, brother. The lack of pressure that we put on the quarterbacks right now is insane. I mean, maybe we got a little bit lucky. There was a couple drop balls where guys were wide open and the Commanders kind of helped us just a little bit. We do have to point that out. We can't just act like our defense put on a clinic yesterday. We do got to acknowledge that we did get a little lucky. But every now and then you got to get luck's got to play in your favor. Watch all these games and you see how lucky some teams get. And that's the name of the game, baby. And that's how when we get to the playoffs, sometimes it's just a lucky play, a lucky bounce, or a lucky hit, a lucky throw. You know, so it's luck plays this game in it. But man, what scared me and what I didn't like is Washington does that, and then when we come back, we get a 4th down. And I thought, hey, Commanders, Dan Quinn's basically saying, I'm going to go for it on my own side of the field because I have no fear whatsoever towards your defense. And I thought that was Shoddy's point to be able to go for it. I believe it was like 4th and 2, and we were on their side of the field. We were on I think it was like their 45. That was Shoddy's point to really make a statement. And I that's what I want to see. I need Shoddy to show me his dog side. I need him to show me that when we have our foot on your throat, we are willing to step on it. That's what I need Shoddy to show me right now. And we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it yet. And I'm hoping that's what we see this weekend. We're waiting for that statement game from the Dallas Cowboys. Right now, sitting at 500. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's like how I said about Philly. Like, it's not always going to look pretty, but they're winning. How hard can you be on a team who's winning? Because if you look at the Buccaneers and what Baker Mayfield's doing, we applaud that. And I get it. You see the boys juiced up, fired up for Baker. So you could say that team is bought into Baker's personality, and you could look at Philadelphia and be like, they're disgruntled, right? They're not happy for each other. At least that's what the media is portraying it. But when you listen to these guys' interviews, it seems like most of them just care about winning. Most of them only care about winning. And that's exactly what Phil is doing right now. And that's what this Cowboys team right now is. We won. We won a game we should have won. I think we're the superior team over Washington. Sure, Washington was missing their 2 wide receivers. That's fine. We can use that. If we want to use the injury excuse, we can use it. Dallas was healthier and Washington wasn't. Okay, that's fine. But a good team did what they're supposed to do to a not so good team. And that's exactly what Dallas went out and did. So for me as a Cowboys fan, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling great, actually. I'm feeling a lot better than what I did last week. Let's just say that. Now we got to ask ourselves, are the Chicago Bears, are they the real deal? Or are the Cowboys just that bad? That the Chicago Bears, like, what are the Chicago Bears? The Bears have won 4 consecutive games after starting the season 0-2. This is the first time Chicago has won 4 straight games within a season since weeks 14 through 17 in 2028. That's a long time, boys. The Bears have had 3+ takeaways in each of their last 4 games, 3 interceptions in week 7 against the New Orleans Saints, and are one of only 4 teams since 2019 with 16+ takeaways in the first 6 games of a season. This defense is finally finding themselves, and they're using DeAndre Swift like no other. He rushed for 124 yards, had a touchdown on 19 carries. You know, you got a good running game. A lot of good stuff can happen. Of course, they were playing the Saints, so you could use that excuse, right? So when we look at the Chicago Bears schedule, I mean, we can sit up here and say they played bad teams, depending on what you think of the Dallas Cowboys or the Commanders, just the NFC East in general. Because we look back and you go, okay, the Saints, that makes sense. The Commanders, 25-24, they squeaked that one out, if you remember. And then the Raiders stink bad, like porta potty stink. And then they beat the Cowboys, 4-game winning streak. Cowboys, Raiders, Commanders, Saints. You tell me how good you think this team is with the Chicago Bears. And it's Lamar. I think Lamar's coming back this weekend, and they're playing the Ravens. But with Lamar there, that Ravens team already looked, it was bad. We're talking about a defense 32nd in the league. When we know that you're the worst defense in the league, it's a tough sell to think that you're going to go out there and score 35 points. And your defense still gives up 40 to lose a game. A tough look. So it's hard for me to think that the Ravens game is going to be tough for the Chicago Bears. So I'll go ahead and give them that W. But man, does their schedule look good? It favors them bad. You got the Bengals. I get it, what Joe Flacco did. Joe Flacco is capable of what he did on that Thursday. He is very much capable of that. But let's not forget what happened the week before Thursday. You know, you don't know what you're going to get. Joe Flacco's it's like the Carson Wentz experience. But the one thing we do know is that he's going to get it to his playmakers. He's going to force it to Higgins and Jamar Chase. And you just better hope them boys are on. And if they are, Bengal team is going to be tough to beat. And Cleveland, highly critical of Joe Flacco because they don't have Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. So whenever we say, like, why wasn't Joe Flacco doing that in Cleveland? They don't have Jamar Chase, and they don't have T. Higgins. And you could say, well, how come Browning couldn't do that? Because he's not Joe Flacco. He don't have the experience or the arm. Like, the one thing we know about Joe Flacco is he can still spin it. It's like a shooter in basketball, right? A shooter can extend his career because he's not putting so much wear and tear on his body. And like Steph Curry could probably play for another 10 years if he wanted to, if he just willingly took the position of sitting at the three-point line in the corner, right? Kind of Ray Allen-esque. Ray Allen extended his career and won a couple more championships because he was okay with going and running to the corner and hitting threes all day. And when you got a pretty spiral like Joe Flacco does, he's going to get it to them boys. I mean, he's going to throw it in their direction. Let's just say that. And it's kind of like Jalen Hurts too, right? Get it up there and allow your playmaker to go up and make a play. And that's what makes the Bengals scary. And the Bengals only have to win about 2 or 3 of their next 4 games. Or 2. Let's just say 2. 2 of their next 4 games. And they're right back in business. But this Chicago Bears team, man, this Chicago Bears team can go on a run. And with the Packers not looking, the Packers don't look great offensively. But Josh Jacobs coming back, and they're getting him rolling. We've seen Jordan Love at his best when Josh Jacobs is the head of the helm, I think. When you allow Josh Jacobs to eat, Jordan Love looks like an MVP guy. And I think that's all we're kind of waiting for with the Packers. I don't think we need to overreact to what they looked like yesterday. The defense, let's give it some time. I think the Packers and the Eagles, it's just one of those situations where like they are a good team. They have the personnel. It's just a matter of patience. So if you're a fan of those two teams, I just think you have to be you're really going to test your patience this year. But it's a lot easier to be patient when you're winning. It'll come. It's going to come. Micah Parsons had his best game yesterday, right? 3 sacks? 10 pressures? Was involved in the run game after, we've been told he has no run game defense whatsoever. But if I'm a Packers fan, I'm not tripping yet. I am not tripping yet. Until those L's start to stack up, you don't need to overreact whatsoever. Like, what is your biggest concern as a Packers fan? Honestly, what is your biggest concern? I think I've been told the secondary, and I've been told Jordan Love. That's what I've been told from Packers fans. Now, are they right or wrong? Well, actually, the Jordan Love criticism came from Borba, which is a Vikings fan, so that might be a little bit of a biased take. But then when you watch it, you kind of go like, Jordan, what are we doing? Sometimes it's like, Jordan, what the? But then you watch yesterday, and as Josh Jacobs gets going, it's like, oh, okay. Okay, I see the capabilities of this team. And then when Micah gets going, it's sure they start off slow. It seems like that's what we've gone to expect from the Green Bay Packers. Like they just almost want to give you a little bit of a heart attack. They want to give you the Dallas Cowboys experience. If you ever wondered what a Cowboys fan goes through, that's what Packer fans are feeling right now. Because you really don't know. And it always happens against lesser opponents, right? Like, as you're a Packer fan watching that game, and you get to halftime, you're just like, really? We traded for Micah, spent all this money, and this is what we have to offer. This is what we're trotting out on Sunday. And then they come back, and they remind you, be a little patient. Don't jump to conclusions. Stop tripping, girl. Let all the information come out. That's what Micah Parsons is telling them boys. Let's just relax. I make all pros of cornerbacks. Allow it to come. Allow it to come. The Micah Parsons effect is going to come, boys. I think so. I don't want this Packers team to be good. They've been on too many of the winning sides against my team. But when I look at this team, man, you got to assume that Matthew Golden is going to start getting used more. I don't like that he only had 4 targets. One of the fastest guys in the league. And they got Christian Watson coming back from IR. Can he stay healthy? That's a fat question mark. But if he does, the possibilities of that offense with Josh Jacobs at the helm, boy, do I like it. I mean, we're talking Detroit Lions type fun football. if this Packers team can get healthy. And then it's all on Jordan Love. You move as he moves. And let me remind you guys, you're sitting at 4-1-1. So if I'm a Packers fan, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, you just beat the Arizona Cardinals. They didn't even have Kyler Murray. It don't matter, bud. Guess what? We still won. 4-1-1, sitting at number 2 in the NFC. And I'm being told we're supposed to panic. And maybe that's the internet getting to me. I just don't think there's any place for a Packers fan right now to feel nerves. Just be patient. Patience, patience, patience. Write that on your write that on the top right of your notebook. Write that down, cut it out, put it on the magnet on your refrigerator to remind yourself. Patience. This Green Bay Packers team just needs a little bit of patience. It'll come. It'll come, boys. It'll come. Let's talk about this, JB. Or let's talk about this, Jay. Indiana, Daniel Jones, and Jonathan Taylor, another team with the stout running back who is playing his best football. Just a couple years ago, when Jonathan Taylor was re-signing with the Indianapolis Colts, he sat out. A lot of drama started to stir up. Can Shane Steichen control the locker room? Shane Steichen is starting to lose the locker room in Indianapolis. I mean, you looked at the Pat McAfee show, and they were going crazy about what was going on. Anthony Richardson, is he a professional? Don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Boom, boom. And then the Minnesota Gods delivered, or I guess you could say the Santa Claus of the Minnesota Vikings, delivered this beautiful gift named Daniel Jones and dropped him into this city of Indianapolis. And boy, has that place turned around. I don't know that we've ever questioned Shane Steichen as a play caller. I don't know that there's anybody out there that has criticized Steichen as a play caller. And now it's all starting to come into form. One of the greatest play callers right now is starting to be, or putting his name in the hat of one of the best coaches in the league right now. Before this year, we didn't know. We just knew him as an offensive coordinator that got a head coaching job. And if you judge him as a head coach, you go, man, this guy stinks. Maybe this guy is just one of those guys that's only good at calling plays. Maybe this guy is Josh McDaniels like. Because we're seeing that. I mean, you see it in Miami. You see it in Miami right now. There's a garage sale happening in Miami right now at the stadium. Everything must go. 50% off. What's going on in Miami is disgusting. But we're not talking about Miami. We're talking about the Colts here. 6-1. Number 1 in the AFC. Who would have thought that going into the season? I mean, I expected the Colts to be good. Because we expected Jonathan Taylor to revive himself. So much criticism has been pointed towards him since his renegotiation of his contract. And that team kind of seeming to fall apart. But now we're sitting here at 4-1 or at 6-1, number 1 in the AFC. They just beat a Chargers team. On Monday or on Friday last week, Bustin' with the Boys came out on ESPN and said, Indianapolis Colts are the most overrated 5-1 team in the league. They haven't beat anybody. And honestly, at first I was like, man, at this point we're just saying shit. Like, we're just having fun on TV. We're just saying stuff. But then you actually go and look at their schedule at their previous their previous games, and we go back, right? And I guess you could say that. They Cardinals last game, right? Before this one, you go Cardinals, Raiders, Rams, Titans. But they lost to the Rams. That's their one loss, right? To the Rams, 20-27. Close game. Probably should have won that game. Close game. Great team, though, they played. Maybe Super Bowl contender in the Rams. So the one team they lost to, Super Bowl contender. Very well in that game. That was week 4. But you go last 2 games, Cardinals and Raiders. Yeah, maybe you can call them a fraud. And maybe you still can. Because we don't know We really don't know what the Chargers are either. But they're sitting at 4-3. It's early. We can't panic. We got to give Jim Harbaugh the benefit of the doubt. The guy knows how to win. He's been to Super Bowl, won national championship, he's come back, and he's turned this Chargers team around. Sure, Chargers. I get it. We got 3-4 offensive linemen out. We're waiting on our left tackle. It don't look good for the Chargers right now. Injuries just keep stacking up. It's one of those teams that just has the injury bug every year, it seems like. But guess what? San Francisco is not making those excuses. I mean, San Francisco is on their backup quarterback. And you could be like, oh, yeah, they're lucky. Mac Jones is playing unbelievable. Blah, blah. Yeah, you have Justin Herbert, who we've been told is an MVP guy, a game changer, a franchise quarterback, a guy that you can rely on to go out there and get you to the Super Bowl. And we have yet to see that. What has he done for us to just label him with that? And yet they underdeliver yet again. This wasn't even a close game, fellas. Not even a close game. I mean, we're talking about 23 points put on that Chargers defense in the first half. And their offense only scoring 3. The Chargers offense laid an absolute egg, an absolute doozer, an absolute shite yesterday. And their quarterback is Justin Herbert, who we've been told is this gift to football. And we have yet to see that gift reveal itself as for what it is. And maybe we are seeing it reveal itself for what it is right now in front of our eyes. At home, that's what you come out and put out? At home. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. I like the Colts, bro. I love me the Colts. The Colts are so fun. It's old school football, bro. Old school football. My running back is better than anybody on your defense, and we are going to run it down your throat. Oh, you think you're going to stop it? That's cute. Guess what? We got a guy with a nice little arm that can sling that thing off play action. And, like, honestly, it's not like Daniel Jones is throwing to Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens out there. Like, no disrespect to Michael Pittman Jr., but that ain't no Jamar Chase. And these boys are involved, man. The one thing that I see about the Colts is they play for each other. Whenever you see your wide receivers blocking down the field, bro, that gets me so hyped because that means they're staying engaged. They want to be involved. They want to be impactful. They want to make an impact on winning. And it doesn't always have to be the stats. That's the stuff that we're talking about right there, making a difference, completing your block, running through the play. You remember that scene on Blindside? Remember that scene on Blindside whenever when dude gets pissed, they throw the flag, his coach starts barking, blah, blah, ref, you better, blah, 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 and then say hut, and then he drives his block all the way past the end zone, then tosses Buddy over the edge. That's what we're seeing from the Indianapolis Colts right now. And if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, I don't know how you're not fired up. And when someone calls your team overrated on national television, I could see why your ears just start buzzing. Because you chose to wake up and criticize the Colts like that when we could be uplifting this team right now. Because what we're seeing from this team is just beautiful football. The Colts are fun, man. The Colts are so fun. 6-1, first in the AFC. That is awesome. Let's go, Colts. The Colts have who? The Titans next? And then the Steelers and the Falcons? Boy, oh boy. Before they go and play the Chiefs in Kansas City, November 23rd, right before Thanksgiving. Oh, that's going to be a good battle. That kind of sets us up. The Colts got to put it on them. Week 12. They got to put it on them because then after that, they go over to Dallas to play us. Come on, Colts. Why not make a run here? Bro, I don't see them losing. I don't see them losing to the Titans. I guess maybe the Steelers will be a tough one. Steelers should be a tough one. And, you know, let's transition to the Steelers here. Because the Steelers did drop a big one on Thursday. Boy, did they drop one. And Aaron Rodgers probably had the game of his life. And that defense just didn't hold up. Defense did not hold up. Defense has yet to meet expectations. Consistently. Have we seen a game or two? Sure. But what we're accustomed to seeing from that defense, and we have yet to see it, is mind-boggling. It's like Aaron Rodgers is going to be held back yet again. And it's not it being his fault. I hate it. So I asked a question to one of my Steeler friends, and I said, "What's our question mark for the Pittsburgh Steelers?" It's like Mike Tomlin, and I'm like, "What? Mike Tomlin? Like we're trying to get rid of Mike Tomlin already? Who's the DC over there? That's the biggest question." I thought Mike Tomlin was calling the plays. Apparently, he's not. Apparently, Mike Tomlin is like in a Nick Sirianni situation where he's just the game manager. So when you're just the game manager and something in the game that would require some sort of time management or management of any sort falls apart, and that's the only thing that you do outside of the morale of the locker room, there's going to be a lot of fingers pointed at you. And that's what it seems like is happening right now. And we've seen it in games before with the Steelers where they've allowed teams to stay in games because of maybe not going for it on a fourth down. I mean, we saw it last week. You got 4th and 2, and you got Aaron Rodgers at the helm, and you still choose to kick a field goal. Like, those are the decisions where Mike Tomlin's got to grow some cojones. You made a move for a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, and obviously I'm going back here a couple weeks, but those are bookmarks that we put in our heads to come back to whenever situations like this happen. And it is going to get hot for Mike Tomlin, I think. This is the year where I think Steeler fans are finally over just being good enough. Just being good enough. It's like the standard has changed for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they don't like it. Their fans don't want to be a part of that. It's like the standard now is, let's just have a winning season. It's not even let's get in the dance and make some noise. It's let's have a winning season. And when will that change? It's got to change now. So after last week, you got to think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be buyers. What's the issue over there in Pittsburgh? I think they need a running back. A lot of folks think they need to go get a wide receiver. Reminder, they let Pickens go. And look what he's doing in Dallas. Pickens was supposed to be this cancer to a locker room. And look how uplifting he's been in Dallas. So you tell me, who's the real issue here? Who's the real diva? I think the answers for the Pittsburgh Steelers are Alvin Kamara, Breece Hall. You got to go get one of those boys. Because right now, your running game is non-existent. Non-existent. And maybe DK does need some help. Sure. That'll open up once you can establish the running game. Aaron Rodgers going 23 for 34, 249 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Can't have turnovers like that. But you got to get a running game. Boys, let me send you guys off to work. I appreciate you guys joining the show. Thanks for JB coming on earlier and, really allowing his therapeutic mind to release the tension that he had from yesterday's game. And, boys, as I enjoy the rest of my day with my W's and you see me, just throw me a little wave, a little good morning, a little cheers, a little hello. This is Speaking Out Loud. We're live every day, Monday through Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30, Mountain Standard Time. You can give us a call, 575-808-9307. We'll be back tomorrow morning to discuss the rest of the Week 7 slate. And, maybe tone down the overreactions. Maybe we'll tone it down just a little bit tomorrow. But for today, it feels like we're back. It feels like the boys are back. And with that being said, fellas, let's have a day. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya.